Hey, Emily. Hey, Temple. How's it going? Hey, Twinkle. Hey, Baking. Good to see you guys. Hey, Lady. How's everybody doing? I'm still eating leftover turkey here. I don't know about you guys, but I certainly am. Hey, all. Hey, Chris. Did some tutoring today. We got MK and a bunch of other folks going to be taking their exam this weekend. I hope they pass. I had somebody reach out on TikTok and say they passed their CCS, so that's awesome. Super cool. What kind of questions, lady? Or Baking, I mean. Yep, I hope MK knocks it out of the park this time. She's super nervous. All is well. Just looking for some parentheses to highlight. Ooh, primary procedure. First time is it WW? Good. I'm glad you're here. I hope I can help you out. What I'm doing is going through the 2023 book and just highlighting if I find anything in a parentheses, and if I see something, I thought I saw something a minute ago. Don't know what I did with it, but it's right here. It says that they did this procedure, but it was without a cardiopulmonary bypass. We'll see how the cardio bypass is super close to the code number. You know, if you're just skimming really quickly and you've got this number, this number, this number, and that number as A, B, C, or D, and then, okay, you've got that procedure with a bypass, great, you grab it and go. Well, you might think this one is the one with the bypass because the without is way over here. So if it says without only and it doesn't say with and without, if it just says without, I'm going to put a line through that word. That way I don't confuse it with the one it should be bypassed right there. So that's one little thing I'm updating for this year. Can I look at codes? All right. 205. Two oh five five 2 3 4. Okay, 22522 and then 55. Where am I at? Am I there yet? 5253 and then 206 05 or 06. It's 06 and then 11. Okay. And they want to know maybe the differences in these. We got trigger point injections, or let's see, that's trigger point injections. These, what are these? Where's our mama code? Our mama code are for these two. The mama code for these two, the first thing you need to think about is going to go find your mama. Even though this might be C and D, they start out with the line separated over here, so you know this is a child code, this is a child code. Well, I don't care what they say. The first thing I got to figure out is where's Mama? Mama is up here, and this is an orthocentesis and an aspiration. These codes, the 06 and the 11, are going to be everything that Mama is down to this parentheses. So all this is in the 6 and the 11 before anything else. We've got an aspiration. And then same thing for the 52 and what was the other number? 52 and 53. We got to make sure Mama is there first. We got injection, trigger point, one's single and multiple. Okay. We also will probably have a header here where these are in inductions and removals, which goes along with with these two codes. And then when we get to here, we're going to have something else. We got the orthocentesis aspiration. So what's your question about those? Let me see if I can find it. Trigger point injection into 4 bursa with ultrasound. Ultrasound is what's going to get you. Most of these are doing things that this one seems like this has got the ultrasound with it, with and without. This one's got the ultrasound guidance. The 11 has ultrasound guidance too. Injection major point. This one does say bursa too, so that's all good. Does this one say bursa? It does say bursa. Aspirin intermediate. Our differences are whether this is a major joint or an intermediate joint. So we have to figure out what kind of but these with the trigger point injections. Let's see, 205. This book is naked without my notes. So let's see what my notes say on this one. 206. 205, I mean. If we're doing it with, don't count as injections, carpal tunnel, insertion of needles into muscles, nothing there. Those are all just muscles. They're not joints. These aren't muscles or bursa that I can see. These are just muscles. So those are just going to be muscles. The only ones with the bursa are going to be over here. And then we're going to separate them out by body part. If we're doing wrist, ankle, elbow, we're here. If we're here, like the 11, it's going to be in the shoulder, hip, knee, those kind of things. So we got the 2. And the 11 does count for ultrasound, shoulder, hip, and knee. Then the 06 is for the wrist, elbow, and ankle with the ultrasound. So body parts. Does that make sense? Let's see what else she said. Hey, TikTok mom. Getting your nails done. Awesome. And doing your practice exam. Pocket prep. Good job. Perfect. It's on the CPC exam. Good to know. Just a girl and her dog passed. Congratulations. That's awesome. I hope I did help you. She said, thanks for your help. So that's awesome. I'm so glad I did make a difference and help out just a little bit. That always makes my day. That's awesome. Congratulations. Yes, the question was asking that exact question. Yeah, that question was asking the exact question. Good. Girl and her dog. Hey, because good to see you. Let's see. Emily will lose their subscription and benefits soon. I guess that's just a TikTok reminder. Love, Teresa. How are you doing? Hope I can help you. The work was intermediate, she believed. Okay, so that's cool. One's intermediate, one's major, but also they do have the definitions of what an intermediate joint would be: wrist, elbows, ankles. Those are down on the smaller parts of the bone, and then the shoulders and hips and knees are up on the bigger parts of the bones, so they can be divided up. That's the differences between major joints and intermediate joints. So it's nice that they got those listed. You graduated last year for your health information degree, and now you need to take the CPC. Awesome. I can so help you do that. Absolutely. That's awesome. So it would be with the 6, with the ultrasound. Yes, if they were doing the ultrasound and it was an intermediate joint, like an elbow, ankle, or wrist, absolutely. Thank you for helping me achieve the goal for tonight. That's awesome, guys. Thank you. Emily, that's awesome. Thank you. Thank you. We'll be doing it hopefully in the next week. I'm testing next Friday. That's awesome. You did. You are really so helpful. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. I'm glad to help. Found out we can use our book stand. I saw that email you got back from your proctor. That is great. You know what I heard this week too? I was tutoring somebody, and they ended up having 2 different versions of an ICD-10 book. Like, they had Optum's, but they also had AAPC's version. They like to be able to look up codes in the Optum. Like, it's easier, I guess. I've never seen one of those, so I don't know what it looks like, but because I've always gotten the AAPC versions. But you kind of need the AAPC versions maybe for 1 or 2 questions just for their decision trees. And she actually took both, and they allowed her to have 2 ICD-10s in her exam. So that's kind of cool. Not that a lot of people have that kind of resources where they have 2 different versions of ICD-10, but just in case you did, you don't have to make that decision. Maybe you can bring both of them too. It's always up to the proctor for sure, but that's awesome. You can bring your book stand. That's great. Annie got her first coding job today. That's congratulations, Annie. That is awesome. Now the fun begins. Tips on CCA. Yep. Download the Discord app and join my Discord group. I have your own practice room in my Discord group. It's completely free. I'm not going to track you. I don't get any of your information like your email address, but I have a CCS and CCA room here that you can meet other students, and I post you guys practice exam questions in here too. I need to update some and put some new ones in here, but I buy your AHIMA books too that on their website, and I help post information in here for you guys too. So yes, please join the Discord group. It's totally free. All you got to do is go to my website, medicalcodingbyjen.com, and just go to the social media tab right there, and everything is clickable. So you just click on the join now for the Discord group, and it'll throw you right into my free study site. So it's got tons of information, what to expect on exam day, practice exam question rooms, E&M resources, CPT resources, ICD-10, you name it, job resources, CEU, study buddies, cases, proctor, even job resources. So tons of free help here, and I can't get to everybody. I wish I could. But if you've got any practice questions, or a question like Baking just had, where I don't understand the differences between this set of codes and that set of codes, this one's muscles, this one's joints, and you need somebody to explain it to you, go to my Discord. don't be afraid. Just go in there and pick a room and start typing, and somebody will help you understand the differences. You know, 5 or 6 brains are better than just one. So ask for help when you don't understand certain coding scenarios. And if none of y'all know the answer, then somebody will end up reaching out to Twinkle or myself, and I can pop in and help explain, or explain during the next live too. I can't get to all the messages. There's 37 of them, and I'm going to have to skip through them. So if I didn't answer your question, just ask it again. But Twinkle's here, and some other ones that have been here a long time, PJ and everybody. Red, if they can help. What was such a waste of time? What was it? Oh yeah, the workshop. Yep. Since you've been watching those, that's awesome. My YouTube subscribers, like if you pay for my YouTube subscription, it's like $5 a month. You get access to what TikTok Mom was saying. My old E&M workshops, I did 2 of them. One's the easy general E&M, and then the second one is the more advanced, like the nursing home facilities and those kind of things. But yes, just watching that 6 hours of nothing but E&M questions. I'm not chatting, I'm not answering, or my kids aren't breaking in. It's just back-to-back questions on E&M, practice questions. So that is super helpful to really get you the real understanding of what E&M is. So that's awesome. I'm glad it's helping out. Well, it was a waste of time. Oops, I'm trying to get there. Let's see. The classes are a waste of time. Yeah, I'm sure it's somewhere on YouTube. Just go to my YouTube. Like I said, I got that social media tab, and you just click into my YouTube, and I'm sure there's an option here of some sort to sign up for the subscribers. There's the subscribers. You can subscribe where you get access to the regular videos, but then if you join some sort of membership somewhere around here, that there's a join that pops up right there in the corner, and then that'll give you access to all the playlist that I have for all the old workshops. So that's super cool. There's 12 right there that y'all have access to. The most recent ones in October and November are not posted on there, but they will eventually get there. But it's pretty cool. I did the E&Ms back in March and April, and so those are older than 6 months old, so those are there. I'm fixing to do a brand new E&M workshop on December the 11th, and we're going to do 75 questions on the 11th for a workshop. If you want to join in on that, you can also do that on my website. Just go to the tutoring and workshops tab right there, and it will pop up, and just go down to the workshop. It's just $10 if you want to participate. It's on a Sunday. It's at 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. If you can't stay the whole time, you will get access, a log on and a password, so you can rewatch it afterwards for the whole time that it'll be on Zoom. And then when I eventually move it over to YouTube, it'll be several months. But we're going to do that on December the 11th, and you can book that from the website if you want to join in on that E&M one. Thank you for sharing the live. Thank you for the shop. I don't know what all that is. You all are going to do great. Thank you for tapping and sending out the likes. That helps get out the coding word to everybody else that's on TikTok. We can find more people to help. Oops, what did that say? She said something. I think within the past month. I probably paid your mortgage joining everything. Aw, well, the YouTube is $4.99 and I think TikTok is $5.99. So the mortgage here is um around 1,100 a month. It's around and about that. I round it up and just pay 1,200 so that I can pay more on the principal, if that makes sense. I don't ever pay. I even do that on my car payments. If my car payment is, $365, then I go on and pay it on up to 400. That way I can get down the principal some. So I don't like to keep up with the little bitty numbers. I like to just pay off the other part. And just as fast as I can, so that a little bit goes a long way when you get to principal. But that's the only things that I've got besides the workshop, and it's $10. And then I like to teach y'all how to do all the notes for free, so y'all can go through your books and do all that. And I like to teach for free here 3 nights a week for 2 hours each time, and then I repost those up on YouTube for free so that you guys can have them there too. So every little bit helps. It does, especially when you're talking about a 30-year mortgage. You want to pay just a little bit extra every month. You could be surprised how that little bit of change can really knock down several years of owing more money. So it's nice if you can. I even, every year, like when my car tags are due, like in February or March every year, I take my old, maybe Christmas presents I got that I didn't like, or my kids never even opened or something like that. I go into this app called McCary, and when my $190 membership is due for AAPC. Oh my gosh. That on top of car tags are due every single year. Well, I go into McCary. It's an app, and it's better than eBay or whatever, because they get 3 days to like it or complain about it. And then that's it. The money is yours. If after 3 days of the package arriving, the contract is done. There's no 30-day returns, no 60-day returns, no 90-day returns. It's great. So, this is my sale total for almost 3 years now. But I do that every year. I don't have anything on it right now, but let me tell you, that goes direct deposit into your checking account. And there's no PayPal fees. So you just pay them their fee. There's no fee to list anything on it. And there's no fee until you actually sell something. They collect the money from the buyer. They take maybe 14%, and then the rest is yours. The sellers or the buyers pay for shipping. So you just post your items up for sale. And that's how I pay for my AAPC yearly stuff. I mean, they'll buy used socks as long as you tell them they're used socks and they've got holes all in them, and take pictures of them. They don't care. A lot of crafters use them, toilet paper rolls, all kinds of stuff are in there that could be used. Some shirts that I never did wear, or my kids were given that they never could wear, and they've still got the tags on them. I put that up, but you can put up, like my oldest son has a snake. He's had it since high school, and now he's 30 years old. But even those things, the skin off the snake when it sheds monthly, people buy that to make earrings and stuff out of. I don't know. They'll buy anything. It doesn't matter. Somebody likes it. And you can post whatever you want on there. I'm sure you got closets full of stuff that people don't use. I got a Norwal Christmas ornament one time, posted it up, and so cool. Oh, some of the stuff that I've sold. Let's see. What have I sold? mask during the time. The boys got Batman and Spider-Man, and they didn't like them. They were, they're 13, so they weren't really into wearing those, so we just posted them up for sale, and I sold them. Oh, Mom's here with sausage balls. She made me, Grandma made cheesy sausage biscuits. Yeah, that's awesome, Mom. Thank you. Sharp cheese makes a difference, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Sorry, my mom walked in. But, yeah, you can post anything you want up here. Really cool. Sometimes I would win contests. That's a contest prize that I won. It was a Harry Potter train with a Harry Potter thing. I don't know. I put it up for sale and sold it for $12. It was free. I had $12 in my pocket. So just in case y'all are running short on some money, I really highly recommend this McCary app. Yes, they're going to need a copy of your driver's license. Yes, they're going to need your social. Yes, they're going to need your checking account and routing number. But I've been on them for 3 years, never had any problems. I've sold, like I said, $8,000 worth of stuff over 3 years. And that pays for my car tags every year and my new books that I get every year and my AAPC membership. So it's a really good app, and it has a big following, and it's called McCary. And they only give buyers 3 days to love it or leave it, and that's it. And I've never had anybody complain or want to return on there, unlike Amazon or eBay, if you've ever tried that. So maybe that'll help some of you guys out for having some extra income come in for emergency bills. That's always handy dandy. Now, one thing I want to tell y'all about medical coding in the AAPC certification exam. I wanted to make sure I told y'all this part today, that let me get out my other book, my 2022 book, and let's go to let me go to the hernias. Where's my hernias? That's in the purple, right? One key thing about this exam is the main thing is you don't really need to know how to code, wrong purple, because the coding is already done for you guys. What needs to happen is you need to pick out the correct answer. And their questions on the AAPC exam, y'all listening, are built and designed, it's my opinion, to test your knowledge of how to use this book, the CPT book. Do you know what the headers mean? Do you know what some sort of coding scenarios mean? Like these 96s, the second and third digits here in the 5-digit CPT code, all the 96s are under laparoscopic. And then if you go to the 95s, the second and third digits, those are all the open surgeries. They're both hernia repairs, but they're both under a different header. This one's under the repair header, which is an open surgery. And then this one's under a different header, which is under the laparoscopic, where they stick the cameras in and they don't cut you open to fix the hernias. OB is done that way too. And there are questions. If you're given A, B, C, or D, and you see the second and third digits, if 2 of the answers are 96 and 2 of the answers are 95, you know that question is asking you about headers, first of all. And if you can eliminate or find your headers first in your question, saying that this is a scope, then you know you're only going to be here. You can eliminate the 95s. Then you can move on and then figure out the differences between the CPT codes. If you're taking the CPT code descriptors and then the CPT code descriptors without taking into account the headers, then you're going to be looking at all 4 codes all at the same time. Well, yeah, we're repairing a lumbar hernia or an inguinal hernia or a reductible hernia. Most of the time it's inguinal. But if you didn't eliminate the easier part first, is whether this is an open procedure or a closed procedure, that could help you out and get you down to a 50-50 shot really quick. All the OB and delivery ones are set up, and many other codes are set up the same way. If I go to the female, where's our female? Yep. Female deliveries, for all the OB and deliveries, the 94s, the second and third deliveries, are all natural deliveries. No problems, no issues, came out like it's supposed to. If I switch it to the 95s, then that means C-section. All those are C-section. Then I switch it to here, the 96s are both. We tried to go natural. We ended up doing a C-section after a previous C-section, those kind of things. This is the combo. It's doing both. So we've got natural, C-section, then the combo. Many things are like that, especially in the cardiology area. A lot of your cardiology stuff is either vein only or arterial only or combo, both. Yes, Jay Bird, what's up, my children?
I think grandma sausage balls are better.
You came in here to interrupt my teaching.
Yep.
Just to tell me that grandma's sausage balls are better than mine that I make you. Awesome. Thank you, Jay. What else can I do for you?
Well, I mean, the shape isn't as good as yours, but like also, I see a Christmas present because like John didn't wrap it. Can I wrap it myself when you're done?
Yes, you can wrap the Christmas presents. Yeah. Okay. All right. Bye. He came all up in here busting up onto my live, knowing I'm teaching a class just to tell me grandma's balls are better. Gotta love boys. Gotta love boys. They're honest, if nothing else. That's awesome. So, for an example, I'm going to show you a test question here.
Actually, I'll just wrap it right now.
Okay. So for this test question, we have 2 that are 96s, and then we have 2 that are 94s. And I'm always looking for similarities or looking, and a lot of times we get in a habit of looking at the last digits, and we probably would think that we needed to look at 31, 33, and 36 because they're all in the 30s. But in this scenario, you'd miss out clearing a header first. That could help you get it down to a 50-50 shot instead of looking up all of the ones that are the 3s, if that makes sense. So let's go to our 94s. Look at that header. So if I go 694, and a lot of their questions are easily answered, but just by knowing the different parts of the CPT book. Swear it's a pattern. So 694. I'm slow at getting in things. Now 694 is under what header? We got incision. I don't know if my camera will focus on it, but incision. The 694, I don't care what the last 2 digits are, but that's incision. If I go to the 69 and the other number was a 96, once I get to the 95s, I've switched over to an excision, but the 96s continue on and they're under excision. So one set is incision where's my mouse? One's incision in header, and then the other one is excision, is what's going on. So just those two headers, and if we can clear those first, wherever it is, then we'll have a better shot at this question for sure. Here's your question. And all I'm looking for is a word that means incision or excision. Just looking for those words. And there's the word incision, and there it is again. So I would automatically get rid of the 96s and just keep the 94s. And then now all I have to do is do my CPT code descriptors now. So the 94 is on this page. And then my differences between those two. And you don't want to have to read this entire silly thing between the 33 and the 36 during your exam, because they start out the same way. They're tin pan, requiring, insert, vent, tube. One is local anesthesia, the other one is general anesthesia. That's why writing your one-word differences right underneath the codes will prevent you from reading the CPT code descriptor during your exam. If you go through the entire book and just find the ones that start out with the same words, like some of these, this one starts out with transmastoid, then this one starts out with mastoidectomy. You don't have to do those because they start out differently. But the ones that start out with the same exact crap throughout the entire description, stop and put those two differences, because that I can grab and look in my question. All I got to do is see, did we use topical anesthesia or did we use general? And there it is, general anesthesia. Now I know that I use general, and I know, is it D? Yeah, 36. D is my answer. And this is a whole lot simpler, clearing the headers before you do the descriptors. And I didn't read who the patient is. I didn't read the surgery note or anything that's going on in that. All I did was look up one word and then one more word. And I'm guaranteed to have the correct answer and move on. If you're trying to code, look into super hard stuff and micro analyze this whole 50 to 75 word thing and code all 4 codes at one time, it's going to be very difficult for you to pass, because you're going to get yourself confused and you're going to run out of time. Look for things like this to help you out for sure. I'm trying to read. Yep. I was told that once about chicken. My kids. Jay Bird, he owes rent. I'm going to tell him you said that. Lord. Your son is like that too. He's excited. He is a Taurus and he loves food. He loves his food. He loves to eat, and he's a creature of habit. He loves his food. Yep. All right. Let's do another one. I don't know if this one will be the same, but we got another 6,000. We've got the 3 is probably out, right? Because it's not the same. There's a reason why they have the 4 listed 3 times. So I wouldn't worry about whatever C is. And then the other similarity, do you see something else you could delete out of this scenario? Would you delete A, B, or D? Good job, Penelope. Yep. B, I would delete too, because its second code is not the same as D. There's a reason why they have two answers in the exam that are the same. They want to know if you understand and know the differences between these two. And it's just because there's something written in the book that is different about these two scenarios, whatever it is. And it's just the 22 and the 23. That's all we've got to look up. Let's go look up our differences. We're going to integumentary with this one. 158. 158. 158. 22. Cool. And then our 2, 3. So we're just looking for anything that would say that this eye surgery was excessive. Did they do a whole lot in it? Because our 22 is for a normal surgery. If they had to do something that was extensive, took a lot of time to fix that eye, then we need to look for AKA terms for that. So look from the bottom, not from the top. We don't need to know who they are. We know why they're here. We just need to see if one of the eyelids was rough. Looking for anything that might mean something was rough. They excised the muscle flap, orbital septum opened, hernia, and any herniated orbital flap was removed. Would herniated qualify as excessive skin compared to just a regular plasty repair? What do you think? You call him Jaybird too? He's my James. If they had said that usually it's not a lot of muscle. Usually it's just a skin flap. So the word muscle and the word herniated both give me the heebie-jeebies about being excessive. Normally, though, a lot of times, if it's a difference between a smaller number and a bigger number, the answer is the smaller number. But this one's more, it's more elaborate for sure. Test question than normal. But what you should write, since you've got your books out, is near the 15823. Be sure and write the words muscle flap and herniated fat next to that code. That way you'll know it the next time you see it, that the answer is the 2-3. And that's all you're getting out of the question. They're not going to say anything's excessive. They're not going to say that they took a lot of time. But they're just going to say those two little words. Let's look at these. These are all going to be not bad. Which answers would you get rid of and not bother looking at? What are we going to get rid of just by looking for similarities? Eliminate B. Anybody else see anything else they'd get rid of? Yeah, I'd get rid of C2. There's a reason why they start out a question with the same answer, and that's because there's either a guideline or something in the book they want you to know about. So for this one, it's simply whether or not you can add the 50 modifier or not to this particular CPT code. So let's go look at that code. 64616. 16 is what kind of code? Our 50 modifier is bilateral. Our 616 is a unilateral. It is a unilateral code. They want to know if you know where that parenthetical is down here that tells you if it is a bilateral procedure, then add your 50 modifier. So we just need to go check our question to see if we are bilateral or not. That's all we got to do. So let's see. New York is already ready, huh? Let's see. Did we do both sides of something? It looks like to me that they did Botox in the cervical, paraspinal, then they did it here, and then they did it in the trapezoid, or I can say zoid, but I don't know if I can say that one, muscle. So it all looks like it's probably the neck and the shoulder area is looking like to me, probably. And it's probably all on just one side. So I would just pick A and move on with my day. A is our answer. Did you find your banana? My cat's playing with his banana. Oh my gosh. So cute. All right. What would we get rid of here? What do you think? Oh, shaking. Yeah. C and D? Yeah. Let's start out with just A and B because it's the same answer. And they just want to know, do we know if we can add radiology to this code or not? 62323? You're such a good boy. You're such a good boy. And if we look at that code, would we add radiology to it? No, we wouldn't, because it already includes radiology with it, right? So even without looking at anything, you could guess the answer on that one. But in case you wanted to see what the question was, it is correct, and all we're doing is exactly what we're just injecting into the lumbar sacral area with our imaging guidance. That's all we're doing, and that was the correct answer. Super easy. All right, I'm gonna switch it up. Where am I going? What did I do today? Integumentary? Integumentary. Yeah, I like integumentary. All right. What would we remove from this scenario? Yep. Your parenthetical also tells you do not report, but you should be able to tell that the CPT code descriptor says with imaging guidance. So that alone ought to tell you that you're just gonna, imaging guidance is already included for sure. So yeah, for this one, I would get rid of nothing, right? What do we get rid of? No, we're gonna get rid of C and D. Right? Am I wrong? Where am I at? The 216s. We keep the 216s. Because that's the similarity here. And what happens in our codes in integumentary when the second and the third digit is 16? What's going on in that area? What's our main header? Because AAPC has a habit of giving you two answers that are unalike. See how they're 14 and 13? And then two answers that are super close, but they just want to know if you know what the differences are. So if it's 16 in the second and third digit, then it's cancer, right? If it's a 14, it's non-cancerous. It's your benign lipomas. That's something kind of cool or neat to understand. What happens if you are removing cancerous spots from somebody? You've got several guidelines. You got some do's and do nots. Unlike a lot of the other areas in integumentary, like when you're repairing something or doing other excisions, you can add items together. Like I did 3 cm laceration repair on one arm, and then I did a 4 cm laceration on the leg. Well, because both of those are extremities, you get to add them up and say it's 7 centimeters altogether. But when you're dealing with cancer, and if we are coding in the 16s, we don't add nothing, we don't combine anything, and no matter how many things they remove from the body, they are going to get a code for each individual thing that they remove. You code every single one singularly. That was a hard word. So I like coding cancer because it's easy. Whatever you remove, you code it. You don't add nothing. You don't do anything to it. So cancers are easy. So the difference between these two answers, did I remove 2 items or did I remove 4 items? Simple as that, is how many items did I remove? So let's check out our question. I'm going to see if we're doing actual cancer removal. And basal cell carcinoma is our very first sentence. And in integumentary, we have a set of guidelines at these 14 and 16s. I'm in anesthesia. Why am I there? So let me get to the 16s. Yep. One 116. Right here. So if it's benign, we're in the 14s, but the guideline is not near the CPT code numbers, which is on another page. This is where the 14s show up, but the guideline to them is over on another page. But it also lists something that you need to move over to that area is that list of types of words that go with those codes. So if it's benign, it'll say that word or that one, whatever. So move that list over here near these 14 codes. Same thing for your malignant lesions. They have a list on a separate page right here about basal cell carcinoma and all this other stuff. Take that list, because it's not near the codes, and move that list over here to where the codes start out. The codes start right there. So move that list and add to it as you find things too. Anyway, basal cell carcinoma we know for sure is malignant, so we're just going to count how many things did they remove, and all you have to do is count how many things they removed by counting the numbers, because they're going to say something is a 0.3, something else was a 0.8, whatever. So just count the numbers of numbers you see in here. We've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. So without doing anything else, reading anything else in the question, you know your answer is B. And you can move on to the next question. Super fast, super easy. You don't need to know nothing else to answer that question. I know in real life scenario, we have to wait for the pathology report to come back to say that it was basal cell carcinoma before we can code it. But nothing on this exam is real life. I mean, we don't even use these books in real life. Everybody's got encoder on their computer and we just do Google search. We don't use nothing. There isn't anything on this exam that's going to be like real life. Out of these possible answers, which one is the most correct for that scenario? This is telling us that we are excising a basal cell carcinoma. We just have to take the practice question for face value without getting that report back from the pathologist. You cannot take your real life experiences to this exam with you. You'll be driving yourself crazy looking for modifiers and all that other kind of stuff. Great. Awesome. Thank you, PJ, for the feedback. She loves my accent from DC. Well, I live in Arizona. I have since 2013. Before that was California. And then before that was, Tennessee, Mississippi. Yeah, all those areas. But I was actually born in New York. So, bit of a traveler. My parents are gypsies. I call them that, but they moved around a lot. I don't much care where I live. I'm just happy if family's happy, but now I forget I have an accent. Hey, Angel, how's it going? ICD-10 codes, I did last week. I did 3 lives on ICD-10 codes, a ton of them. Be sure and catch those lives. I think I got a download. What's today? I haven't done Mondays. I haven't posted it up yet, but I don't think I did any Monday. But I did Wednesday and Thursday last week. I did because Friday was my Thanksgiving, so I did a live on Wednesday and I did one on Thursday. Both those have a ton of ICD-10s on there, so check out those, and yes, I will do some for you today too. You sound like chicken fried steak. Oh no. I don't think I have an accent either, and I forget about it until somebody reminds me. And then when you remind me, I start talking even worse in whatever, is going on. So anyway, I love answering these cancer questions like that. You just count the numbers, make sure you got that many codes, and move on with your day. You don't have to worry about all this mess or sequencing or anything like that. So super handy dandy. Love it, love it. All right, our next one. We have 2 of the 71s, and then we have 2 of the 63s. Don't look at none of that rest of that stuff that comes after it. Don't worry about it yet. Take care of the first part first. It'll make things a whole lot easier. So 11-4 11,4, 63. So we're either complex, right? Or are we? $63. Oh, the inguinal. Yeah, this one's tricky. This one's going to be by location. So our 63, sorry, the sausage is coming back to bite me right now. You have to look at the mama code. What's the difference between the 62 is what we really need to be looking at, which is 62, and our 71, which is really the 70, because we got to look at the mamas first. Anytime there's anything and it's a child code, don't look at those descriptors. You better run to mama first, because that's going to make a more of a difference than the individual codes descriptor, because you're missing most of the information that they're going to test you on. What AAPC is curious about is whether you know the differences that this includes mama, which is everything down to the parentheses, wherever that is in here. And I've probably written over it. Probably that little thing right there. Same thing with the 62. You got to know all the way down to inguinal goes with your 63. So you can't just code it with complex repair or complex repair. You got to go to mamas. So this one's umbilical cord area and this one's inguinal area. So I went and found that out ahead of time before my exam. So that's written underneath those CPT codes. So in our body, we're either doing near the belly button area, or we're doing down here in the belly flap to the thigh area, you know, right in that inguinal area. So that's what this question is seeing, if we understood that difference, because we have to look at the parent codes. So let's check out our question just for body parts. That's all we got to look for to get us down to a 50-50 shot first, right off the bat. So are we in the belly button area, or are we in the inguinal area? See, thigh, and pubis. Pubis down to the peritoneum. That's about all the body parts you see. So, which area are we going to get rid of? Are we going to get rid of the 70s or the 60s? We're going to get rid of the 70s, right? We'll get rid of those. Now the only difference is, are we going to do this with 4 CPT codes or 2, or you could do it by the modifiers. 51, multiple procedures, and then 59 is our generic different and distinctly different procedure. Both, we're using the same codes. So it can't be a different procedure with the 59. Plus, it's the same 63 and 63, and that's unlikely. We probably have one bigger one and one smaller one. I bet it's B. Yeah. Yep. 63 is going to be our more complex area, and then we went down to an intermediate or simple repair. We probably have 2 different repairs, and one's complex. So we could look and see they had a running catgut. A lot of those differences in those repairs to know whether they're simple or complex. Sutures do play a good role in this. So if they said anything about it being extensive undermining, or they have any of these kind of rims, or where is the stitches? Where's the stitches that were kind of weird? The undermining. There's some special stitches that they do sometimes that are more complex. They're in this guideline. Y'all know what you see it in the repeat. I know they didn't create a defect in this one. I think it was those. Closure line. Measuring the perpendicular along the defect line margins of the helium rim. No, we didn't debride, but they had that wording about the deep dermis sutures. So I think that's our complex one, and then the other one is going to be our intermediate one. So yeah, I like B for that one. And there's our rationale on that one. Hey MK, how's it going? Yeah, but one of them's complex, layered. It's definitely, see how they're saying that it's the complex. It was deep in the fascia. Anytime you see that deep word anywhere, when there's a difference between an intermediate or complex, if they put deep in it, that's going to be the complex. And then the other one, since they had the two defects, it's going to be just regular intermediate. Deep will get you there, and then the other one in the thigh, because one was in the groin area, the other one was in the thigh. That one was just, and it was not complex, so it just gets reported with the 62. So the stitches along the thigh were only that big. Yeah, and they didn't say anything fancy about it at all. All right. I want to do, I had some extra cardiology I think I put in here. I wanted to see for MK, I think, yep, there we go, that she didn't get to see today during her tutoring. I think. Did we do all of cardiology? I can't remember, or if it was all in integumentary. Thank you, Vivi. I'm so glad you're happy. All right. So you see those second and third numbers. We've got an 87, two of them, and then we have two 85s. That probably means that we've got headers that we can eliminate and get down to a 50-50. So let's go look at our 385. I'm so dyslexic. 385. Three, 8, 5, 2, 5. I'm slow. And our 87. Oh, MK did this one today. I've got to find her new ones. And then we've got the 87s. 87s. So we're under two different headers, right? So our 8 5s are under excisions right there. The 8 5, because this is where your 8 5s are at. But then the 8 7s are under radical. So different headers like I thought. So we're just going to check out our question, see if we're totally obliterating something or if this seems to be a normal excision. They did an incision, breakdown, subcutaneous fat, dissect with scissors, and removed a lymph node and froze it and sent it off. Radiotherapy. Yeah. I don't see anything. This was staged because they already had it marked with the blue dye. So this was suspected and already pre-done. So I wouldn't mark this as a radical thing, and they're only removing one lymph node, not all of them, so I'd get rid of that. And then our differences between the 00 and the 25. So the 00 is superficial, and then the 25 is deep axillary. What do you guys think? Let's see if we got... Didn't we see... There it is, axillary. And they removed a sentinel lymph node. Sentinel is an AKA word for axillary. You can put that underneath the code, and yes, you are correct. C is the answer. Yep. Let's see what I got going on here with the ICD-10s. ICD-10s. Find her some ICD-10s. Ooh, I did all these. They've all got all my marks on them, so I think I did these during the live. See if there's one here I didn't do. I did that one. I did that. Ooh, here's one without any writing on it. Okay. All right. Let me switch books. Where is you at? Here you are. Here you are. All right. So what we got going on here is we have two G's. So I would focus on those two. I would probably not worry about those right now. I would go see what my difference is between G30 and G32 is. Let's see. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay. 30. C, D, E, F, 30. And I'm going to look at just the first three digits. I'm not going down to the baby numbers. Just that. This is Alzheimer's disease. And it's got a bunch of guidelines saying that we got to use additional codes, blah, blah, blah. And then our G32 says other degenerative disorders of the nervous system not elsewhere classified or whatever. So let's see if our patient has Alzheimer's or not. What do we got? We got Alzheimer's. So that's all I would look up. And I would know A is the answer. So that's all I did. I picked the two G's, and then I just went to just the G 22 or 32, sorry, and the G30, and that was it. So I don't have to go all the way down to the individual numbers. And then that's it. Looked for that diagnosis in the exam question, pick the answer, and move on with your day. Don't linger in those questions. Don't worry about all this mess that comes afterwards, because it isn't going to affect the outcome. If you've got the first answer correct, then move on with your day. Don't linger. They want you to stay there and look up all those different codes and micromanage this. You don't need to do that. Every single one of the first answers is all different. They're all different. So we don't care about what the second or third codes are. Just find the first one. If you're too chicken to do it by looking for associations, then just look up Z91, FO2, 30, and 32 if you have to, but I'm telling you, there's a reason why. And they wanted to know if you knew the difference between all-timers or a non-specific code. That's all. That's all there is to it. All right, let me go find something else. That was the last one there. Okay, let me move my question up on this one because it's far away from the answers. All right, we've got this one right here. Don't worry about the back, the second or third codes. Let's just look at the front here. So our front code, we've got two of them that are 3-9, and then two of them that are the 3-1. So let's go check out our two differences real quick and get us down to a 50-50 real quick. So that'll help out. So Z12, Z12, 31. Y'all gotta be faster than me getting to these codes. 31, encounter for mammogram. Our other one is 39, encounter for screening for malignant neoplasm. Did they do a mammogram? Is that what's going on right here? We've got our word mammogram in our question. And they said it was unreadable. So she's back for an ultrasound. So I would get rid of the one that says mammogram and pick the one that says other because she's having the ultrasound today. Now we've got it down to a 50-50. Now we just have to figure out our differences on this 03 and the 3. So we'll go to Z80. 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 There is no O whatever, so it has to be B because that it doesn't exist. So easy peasy. Yep. The mammogram was done in the past. That's not what she's having done today. Today is why we bill for today. Today was ultrasound. So that's why we don't do the mammogram. 1. Yep. And it is B. All day long. Yep. Perfect. Oh, let's see. I think I've done those. Let's see. Try to find something I haven't done recently. What is this? Looks like a guideline one. Nope, I need that so I can separate. Most common measurement used in obesity, it's BMI. We know that one. That one's easy. Let's see. Let me measure. Let me move this one up. It's diabetes. Yeah. Let's do a diabetes one. Those are always hard. All right. Are we doing ease or the provider must be queried? You know, one of their favorite answers. Why? I hate it when it's looking for grammar. Stop looking at the grammar. I didn't write the question. Don't check my question. Let's see if there's a guideline attached to this one. Trying to get it up here with the answers. There we go. So this one's pretty easy because the patient was diagnosed with diabetes, but they're also saying that the patient has arthritis. What would you need to do with this one? Thank you, Angel. Happy to help. Thank you for tapping the screen. We got almost 7,000 likes. Love it. Arthritis can be related to diabetes, and it can be a combination code, so you need to query your doctor. It's always going to be D. Diabetes and the sugar breaks down your bones, and it can cause the neuropathy and all that other stuff. So anytime you see arthritis with diabetes, make sure your doctor is not doing what C says, because if they are, you're leaving a lot of money on the table, number one, because you can get extra money at the end of the year or at the beginning of the year for risk adjustment for taking care of your patients. So that's where that CRC certification comes in. If you're diagnosing them with arthritis and then diabetes separately, you're not being a very good risk adjuster. But you know, that's for another certification on down the road. But also, arthritis is a huge risk factor in your diabetic patients. It ruins all your joints and stuff. So, yep, we want to make sure we query the doctor and make sure he uses a combination code that gets you arthritis and diabetes together for sure. All right, where is integumentary? Yeah. Get some of these moving. See if I can find one that MK didn't do this morning. Let's see. All right, we've got two more here. We've got our 71s, and then we have our 30s. Let's check out our headers and see what the differences are. $190, $193. Thank you for tapping the likes. Love it, love it. Oh, I need to set up. Hold on just a second. TikTok's yelling at me. Let me see if I can figure out how to do this. Oh, I got 14 subscribers. Our goal is 26. So if anybody wants to subscribe, you do get your name in the cookie jar. There's going to be a drawing tomorrow for free notes or tutoring with me. Not tomorrow, but Friday during our live. We're going to do a drawing, and the people that subscribe to TikTok and YouTube get extra entries along with the people that just want to email me and get an entry, you can do that too. Don't forget, just send me an email to medicalcodingbyjen@gmail.com. Put raffle in the header, and that will tell me to just write your entry in it. And we're going to do another giveaway on Friday for more notes and more tutoring. But if you do subscribe, you do get an extra name in the hat. Don't forget Susie. Ooh, somebody's getting in the hot tub. I hear somebody taking the cover off the hot tub. All right. 19.3. Where am I at? 19.3.30. 19.3.30. Have we got different headers? And then our 71. Where's our 70s? We got our 70 is a revision, but our 71 is an implant. Ooh. And then our 30 is a removal of an implant. So are we taking it out or are we putting one in? What are we doing? So she's coming in to replace with saline. So she's getting them removed and taken back out and replaced with something else, right? What would we do? Would we keep the 30s or get rid of the 70s? The 30 is just a removal of ruptured implants, but it doesn't, and it does say saline or silicone in there, but it's that one's just the removal. So we'll get rid of B and we'll get rid of D. We're revising those puppies, so it's going to be either A or C. Then our difference is just the 40 and the 42. So 1940 and 42, there's two. One of them is delayed. So we do it at a separate procedure, and then the 40 is done on the same day. So that's what's underneath my CPT code. Of the 40, it says same day, and then the 42, it says delay. So did we do it all in the same day? I think we did. And that's why she's got to be here, right? So she got to be here. So we got to have A as our answer, I bet. Y'all can't even see the darn question. Oh, I love the drink. Had to get something to drink, sorry. A is our answer, for sure. Easy peasy, just break it down one at a time. All right, don't let this one scare you with all those codes and numbers. We ain't gonna worry about it. We still have a difference between just two numbers. We've got our 20s, and then we've got our 25s. Just take it one code at a time, one header at a time. It's all you got to do. Let's go to 160. 16020, dressing, and 25 starts out with the word medium. So my one word difference underneath the 20 CPT code is small, and then my one word difference under 25 is medium. So are we doing less than 5% or more than 5%? Let's check out our question and see if it answers that question. Looking for something. How much percentage was done? What did y'all say? Yep, Burns. How much of a percentage do we have? Less than 5%. There it is. There it is. So it's going to be small, right? We'll get rid of B and C again. We don't have to worry about those. And then all this is the same. The only difference is it's just the middle code, right? Yeah. It's the 2.9 or a 2.3. So we go back to our ICD-10. Look at our differences. I done thrown that book down on the ground. Grab that stuff back up again. Oh. All right. T23. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, 23. 23. I know y'all are faster than me. You need to be a whole lot faster than me. 23. 23. We got left. I see left on this one. And then 29 says right. What did we do? We got left hand, left thumb, left index finger, everything left. It's always the left fingers that get in trouble. My left hand has a gimpy finger too. They're always getting in trouble. They're not as coordinated as our right hands, depending on if you're right-handed or left-handed, but yeah. Oh. Let me see. I have to scroll up. I saw my name. I can't catch everything today. Just when I want to give up, I see your lives and get hope that I can do this. Oh, you're so great. Thank you, Angel. I'm so happy this helps. That's awesome. You hang in there, girl. If I can pass it, and I did not want to learn how to code at all, you can pass it. I just had somebody over 65 just the other day pass. It don't matter your age or nothing. I can teach you how to do this, not knowing what you're doing, for sure, and getting to do it. It's just the exam, and just knowing that you're doing this from the exam point of view, not from a coder's point of view, because all that'll change for sure when you get into the office. So let's just pick all this and keep our left and say D is right, and that's it. And there is your rationale. And they go into a bunch of fancy stuff to tell you how to do it, but the simplest part is just figure out if you're 20 or 25, and then figure out if you're right or left. That's it. You're done. You don't need to look up all those different codes. And then the other thing you need to do is go to that 20 code, your T2329, the very first code right there, and write a little scenario down about this example next to all the codes, like I do. So let me see if I can find you an example of what I do in this book. I'm not sure if this one's written up in or the other one is, depending on which ICD-10 I copied, which copy I've got in here. Oh, here we go. Pull you off this thing. So, for example, I'm just in the M's, where the M23 is, 222. I'm right here next to that first code. Well, I put the two CPT codes in it. Then I put the rest of the diagnosis codes with it, and then wrote a little bit next to it. Torn meniscus, left knee, blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah done. And I have it all next to the very first code. I can go to my second one, the 2242, and it'll say, hey, there's an example on page 816. And I can refer myself back here to this example. I can go to M65 and I'll have the words written, example on page 816 written, so that I can come here and see my whole thing. But that way you've just got a whole bunch of reference material in your book on some key ones that are handy to have. Cirrhosis of the liver is handy to do, or alcoholism, sepsis, cancer ones, hypertension ones, OB and delivery, of course, and some diabetes and some CKDs are also very handy dandy to do. Just go to those areas, and whatever the answer is, write it down next to the very first one, put a little bit about the scenario down, and you're good to go. If they get overdosed with insulin, this is the way you code it in the sequence. If they get underdosed of insulin, there's the sequence and how you code it. Write it in your book. Your book is open book, and you can write whatever you want in it. I even put the pregnancy ones here. So, super handy dandy to write in your book, and use it as a reference. I only do about 10 different types of scenarios, like the sepsis, the cancer, the diabetes, pregnancy, those kinds of things. But that'll help you, because you never know. Well, what goes first? Congestive heart failure or hypertension? Which one is it? Or what if they have cardiomegaly? What do you do? Just go write the answers in when you find those practice exam questions, and then put a little bit of the scenario next to it. It'll help you out during the exam, just in case you get something that you can't break down to this simple of a scenario, and you really wanted to know or needed to know how to code it in what scenario sequence. Or just get a copy of my notes and copy it down. That way you've got it. Whatever makes easiest sense for you, but a lot of times you can just do it without the notes. We just go code by code and eliminate them until we got an obvious answer. So looking at these, we've got 2 that are 52 and then 2 that are 51. We better clear that header first. Let's go see. 151. What do we got going on with those? 151, 35. Okay, so we're in the, are we intermediate? No, what are we doing? Surgical preparation. Body parts. Body part differences. 151, 35 and 55. 55 is a tissue culture, and 35 is an autograph. That means you're driving the car. It's your donor. You are the donor of whatever they're doing for that graph. And it's also an autograph. This culture one is an autograph. You provided it yourself too. So that's handy dandy. Then our 52s. 5240 is a full thickness. And that 60 is too. Yeah, both of them are full thickness. Are we doing autographs or full thickness? Let's pick out that first. Full thickness or autographs? We are doing full thickness, right? It says it right there in the... So that's easy. We're going to keep our 60 and 40. We'll get rid of these two. Now, our differences between the 60 and the 40. Get back over there. 52. 60 and 40. Those two are just body parts, right? because the 60 is nose, ears, eyelids, and lips, where the 40 is just the genitalia, hands, feet, forehead, cheeks, chin, mouth, neck. Oh, good Lord. All right, what body part are we dealing with? We're dealing with ears. Where are our ears in the list of body parts? Where's the ears? Are we 40 or 60? Says it right in the CPT code descriptor. We've got sights, nose, ears, eyes. Yep. So we're right there at the 60s. So D is your answer. That's all you had to do. This was a full thickness. This one was a full thickness. Both of these were the autographs. You know the differences in those. Like, so if a graph is auto, that means you're driving the car. It's your body part. If it's allograph, that means that somebody else walked. I use these as sticks, like somebody's legs, and somebody walked somebody else's body part to you. So that's how I keep those two separated and know the difference. And then these are the full. These are full thickness, and these are the autos. So you just clear that first, and then it's super easy. The next thing you just needed to do was pick a body part. Yeah, a donor. There's your answer too, by the way. All right. All right. Well, we got a 91s and the 00s. So let's see, our 19s are what? Those are way on back here. 19s, 19100. We're either doing biopsies of the breast or way up in the front. And you gotta love how Integumentary starts out with codes that are out of sequence, but they don't tell you they're out of sequence. They just are out of sequence, and you don't know that they're out of sequence, because this one, the 121, but then the next one is 1004, 1005, whatever, 10,006. But it's like trying to find that one when the book is supposed to be in numerical order and it's out of order, but then they don't tell you it's out of order. It usually gets people really flustered at the beginning of working these books. Are we doing a fine needle aspiration, or are we doing a biopsy of the breast? That's all we need to know. So let's look through our question, and we've got fine needle aspiration right there, so we know we can get rid of these two right away. Then just their differences between the 05 and the 21 is all we have to worry about. I gotta get back up to the front of the chapter. I don't know why I closed that on that other page. And then we can't do the 05, or we can. Okay, so if we used imaging or not. Did we use an ultrasound or no imaging is our differences in those two codes. And we did use imaging guidance. No, without imaging guidance. So great. Perfect. D is our answer then. Whew. I like to said we used imaging guidance. Be careful. Look before the words imaging guidance. See if they said with or without. So I almost picked C, but I bet it's D. Thank you for the 9,000 likes and the 12 shares of the live. Y'all are awesome. All right. Let's figure out what's going on with these toes, maybe? We got toes. 11. 11, 7. So we're either debriding, doing an avulsion, or a toenail removal for an ingrown toenail. So, and the toenail removals have a couple of codes because sometimes you're removing the whole nail or just a wedge part of the nail. So you might look for the word wedge if we happen to be doing ingrown toenail. So that's what's going on in my head when I'm thinking about toenails. But let's see what we're doing. What kind of surgery are we doing? They were scheduled for a bunionectomy, but that's crap. They ended up having an infected toenail. So they're going to get... Nail bed was performed and a bunionectomy was done. Oh, nice. So they removed the nail bed. Nice. And they did the bunionectomy. Cool beans. So if they did both, what is our nail bed removal? And they didn't say they did a wedge, so we know our answer has to be just the 50. If they did the wedge, it's going to be the 65. That's where, like, the nail is like this. They only cut out just the corner piece wedge, you know, not the whole nail. Yeah. So it has to be 50. Our next one. So just looking for similarities, I would keep, which two answers are we keeping? Hey Abe, thank you Go-Kart for the likes. Yep, we're going to keep B and C for sure. So let's go see what our differences are on those. And I know I'm missing a ton of messages. It's just teaching questions today. If there's anything I haven't done, just keep messaging me until you get it resolved. Okay, 88 is our chemical peel. I need one of those. And we're just epi, right? Epi. And 89 is dermal. So did we go down to the dermis or are we staying epi? So we're just going to check from the bottom, the outer layers of the skin. And I bet that's all we're going to get as far as any mention of how far they went. What is the outer layer of our skin? Is that epi or dermal? Easy peasy. You too, MK? I know, you deserve so much more. Bless your heart. B is your right answer. Ooh, this was a long one. All right. What are we going to do here? Oh, let me get y'all to where y'all can focus. Focus, 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 focus. Focus. Oh, there we go. Which answers are we going to delete just by looking at them? Thank you for tapping the screen, user. Hey, Sandy. Thank you, Twinkle. Yep, we can get rid of B and C. We're going to keep our 01 because it's in both answers. We just need to know, can we add that code with that code? We better look at our 19301, make sure there's not a do not, just to be safe before we go see what that 3000 code is. But 19301, there is no do nots, but there is some parentheticals underneath it. Anything with the 3000 code in it? No. Nothing at all. I don't see anything with the 3000 code. So we got to go see our 38525. What's going on with that one? 38525. That is, again, we've already been here. This is our axillary sentinel node. Did we go in and open up and remove a lymph node too? If we did, we're going to need to code that. Let's see. What did we do in? Right breast mass. Yeah. Doing a biopsy, blah, blah, blah. Undergo a lumpectomy and with the sentinel lobe. Yep. So just seeing that right there, I know the only answer it could be has to be D, because that's the only one with the sentinel lobe. Yep. Which is AKA axillary. We were here with another question earlier. Yep. Definitely going to be D, and you don't need to read all that mess. And that's unique. Usually it's not two CPT codes. Usually it would be one of the ones by itself, but nope, not this one. Good question. Our next one. If I can get you to hang in there, phone. You got 32% battery left. You can finish this. All right. We've got our 00s or our 17s. What's going on with the 17s? 11, 7. What's going on with that? Are those fine needles or something up in that area, or maybe punch biopsies? But the 11 7s are what? Cyst. These are cyst removals, right? And then the 100, what's going on there? 10060s and 80s, those are under the header of punctures or INDs. These are INDs, and then the cysts are under excisions. So are we making an incision and draining the cyst, or are we removing the cyst? What are we doing? We make an incision and we did a drainage of material. So which two answers are we going to delete? Delete. Yep, we're going to delete C and D because we're not doing an excision, we're just doing an IND. So now our differences between the 61 and 81, if I can get back there. '61 and 81, those are children codes, so you got to look at their mamas. So the 60 code is simple, and then your 80 code is simple, but this one is the cyst and this one is the abscess. So 61 is an abscess, whereas 80 is a cyst. And we definitely did a cyst, because they say it right there. So we're going to pick B. Hey D Rich, I hope I can help you code. All right, and that's it. That was my last integumentary for tonight. I hope that's helpful. Anybody got any other questions while I have 3 more minutes? 3 more minutes? Ooh, my cell phone's hot. Temperature wise. It is hot. Good gracious at all this notes. I write so much stuff. I feel bad for anybody who has to come behind me and copy everything. There's just so much stuff there. Good gracious. Anatomy. Oh, Jessie, it was really good too. I think I did really good, at least for the first hour. I get kind of pooped out towards the tail end of the last part. But yeah, anatomy, I did 3 nights last week. Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, full of anatomy questions. So look back at those last lives. I did a ton of anatomy ones. Those were fun last week. Here's one. How about this one? Prudential nerve. That was on my CPC exam. So my notes are available at medicalcodingbyjen.com, but what is even better there, I can teach you under members only. It's free to join. If you do join the website, you can go to CPT Book Prep right there, and I have pictures of my notes. You just click on it, and then you get the instructions on how to do it yourself. You can come there and learn how to make your own notes there if you want to under CPT Book Prep. But the shop has everything in it if you want copies of the notes. They're all there. I even got some of the 2023 notes up and ready. I've got the guidelines and anesthesia. But prudential nerve, where the heck is that? Oh, here comes my children again. What you want, Jaybird? I don't know where it is. Travi has it.
It's on the ground right there.
You can't play anything that would get you in touch with your friends, like Vinny.
Vinny doesn't have an Oculus.
He does too have an Oculus.
No, he doesn't.
Did his parents pawn it or something? What happened?
He never had an Oculus.
He took one to our house in Vegas for the vacation.
Ours.
I thought he brought his own.
No, that was ours.
Oh.
I can't talk. And half of my friends that are on Oculus, they're never on the Oculus.
No friends.
Okay.
Prudential nerve. I got to get back to this. Sorry, he's still grounded. Y'all are welcome. I'm glad y'all are helping each other out and answered all the questions. Yep, MK is going to do great this weekend. Anybody heard from Mean lately? Her tag name on TikTok, you started out like this. I haven't heard from her in a while. I hope she's okay. I miss her. Just want to check on her, see how she's doing. Here's another anatomy one. Yes, you can still join December's class. Just go to medicalcodingbyjen.com. Pick the tab that says tutoring and workshops. And the workshop is right there. It's just $10. It'll be on December the 11th, 2 p.m. Arizona time zone. We'll do 75 E&M practice questions in 3 hours. If you can't stay the whole time, it's okay. You'll get a log on and password, and you'll be able to replay it all you want, as many times as you want. The abductor, hallucis, or whatever, is in the foot. Where is the fracturing? This involves what area? I did this area Monday's live, and I drew it into the skeleton guy in the 2023 book. So maybe that'll help you remember where that one is. I put one in the shoulder and I put one in the hip area. One started with an ace and the other one started with something else. It's close. This one's in the hip bone, in the pelvis area. All these words are types of hernias, right? Let's see, acute exasperation of asthma or COPD. What is an acute exasperation of asthma or COPD? Ooh, tough one. Thank you, Twinkle. Yeah, I'm going to go eat my sausage balls. They're still sitting here. I'll go eat those. Uncomplicated worsening, an infection, or a condition. Hey, Al. B. Yep, worsening condition for sure. Yep. And complete this series. They love this kind of stuff during the AAPC CPC exam. If we're going from the lungs, the airflow, if we're going from the nose to the trachea to the bronchia, what's next? It is your bronchioles. Those things are right underneath your bronchi. Kind of a trick question. But yes. B is the most correct answer that AAPC wants to have. You know, you might have multiple correct answers, but you need to know which one is the most correct. And I hate those type of questions. Prayers for all. Please, please, please pass. Trisha, best of luck. You've been here forever. I know you've been watching me for several months, so best of luck. Best of luck. MK, I'll see you again in the morning for tutoring. I'll see you then, and I'll be back here on TikTok for 2 more hours on Friday, and we're going to do a drawing for free tutoring and notes too. So I will see you there. Yep. Oh yeah, it's not in the morning, it's in the afternoon time. That's right. 4:15 my time, 3:15 your time. Perfect. Hey Sunshine, good to see you. Thanks, Arhead. Thank you. All right, guys, I'm gonna go download Monday's live and post it, and post this one up too. I'll see you guys on Friday. Good night.